All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6:30. We'd like to call our meeting to order. I'd like to welcome all of our guests here tonight. We're proud to have each of you here with us. Give Miss Lisa a chance to get back to her seat there. Miss Lisa, if you would call the roll, please.
Joel Akers. Here. Terry Bell.
Here.
Morris Bond.
Here.
Carl Bolden.
Here.
Teddy Boyd.
Here.
Sally Brock. Wayne Copeland. Here. Clinton Hill.
Present.
Earl Jones.
Here.
Ron Lee.
Here.
Ken Martin. Michael Martin.
Here.
Charles Morgan.
Here.
Dwight O'Neill.
Here.
Gary Prater. Kenneth Rogers. George Smart. Bessie Smithson.
Here.
Diane Starkey.
Here.
Les Trotman. Herschel Wells.
Here.
Blaine Wiltshire.
Here.
Melissa Yancey. Here. Bob Young. 19 present, 5 absent.
Did you get Commissioner
Oh,
Brock?
Brock, okay.
That just came in.
All right. That's 20 present, 4 absent.
Okay, with Commissioner Brock, we have 20 present and 4 absent. At this time, as we always do, we are going to begin our court this evening with prayer. And Commissioner Michael Martin, in just a moment, is going to be leading our opening prayer for us. But just a couple of things. First of all, I know I echo the sentiments of our entire court. I cannot tell you how happy I am to see this lady to my right with us this evening. And I think that's truly answered prayers. And Miss Bessie, we are truly blessed to have you with us tonight. We're proud to have you here. She is a very, very important member of this court, and we have missed her, and we are thankful and proud to have you back with us tonight. We're proud to have you here. We'd also like to ask everyone, if they would, to remember the family of former Commissioner Bobby Turner, who passed last week. And I don't think any of us were prepared for that. The illness there, as sudden as it came on Bobby, and the short time that he was in the hospital before he passed. So as we go to the Lord in prayer, let's certainly remember the family of Bobby Turner in our thoughts and prayers. And I know we have many, many more. A lot of the commissioners that are out tonight are out due to illness. And so let's remember those, but a lot of needs that we have, but let's certainly remember Bobby Turner's family. So many needs. At this time, let's all stand, and I'd like to recognize Commissioner Michael Martin.
Move on and move ahead.
Thank you, Commissioner Martin. If you would, please remain standing and join me as we say our pledge to the flag. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, and you may be seated. This time we would like to adopt our docket for the evening, and you've each received your packages. I hope you've had an opportunity to review the business that we'll be conducting this evening. I'd entertain a motion this time from the floor. Motion by Commissioner Morris Bond. Here a second. Second by Commissioner Diane Starkey. With a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to amend the docket, please.
Okay.
The physical strength and efficient government physical confirmation letter on the 3-star program requirements, and I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion to amend our docket with this item of business. Have a multiple seconds. I'll get Commissioner Carl Bolden with a motion and a second. on the debt management policy that should be on your desk in front of you. We'll be speaking to that item later with a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Being none, all those in favor of amending the docket with this item of business, please let me know by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the motion carries. And Commissioner Wells, with your permission and members of the court, let's place that as item of business 13A. 13A on our docket for this evening. Is there any further discussion from anyone? I need to recruit the services of our commission to help me. I need to amend our docket this evening that we will be discussing later the appointment of a representative to attend mediation regarding pending litigation. Could I get a motion to that effect? Have a motion on that by Commissioner Carl Bolden. Do I hear a second? Multiple seconds. I'll get Commissioner Yancey here with a motion and a second. We'll be amending our docket to appoint a representative to attend mediation regarding pending litigation, and we'll be speaking to this item of business more detailed later. Is there any questions or discussion regarding this? Being none, all those in favor, please let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. And ladies and gentlemen of the court, with your permission, we'll place that item of business at 13B. 13B. Is there any further discussion concerning our agenda for the evening? All right, being none, we're back on the original motion and second. However, now it is as amended. So we had a motion and a second on the docket. If there's no further discussion, then all those in favor of adopting our docket for the evening as amended, please let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And we have set our docket. Thank you very much. This time we would like to call on our court clerk to read the minutes from the previous court meeting. I'd like to recognize Ms. Scott.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the reading of the previous meeting.
Have a motion by Commissioner Boyd, second by Commissioner O'Neill. All those in favor of suspending the reading of the minutes from the previous meeting, please let it be known by saying aye. Opposed? And the motion carries. Moving on into our departmental reports for the evening. First is finance, and I'd like to recognize our finance director, Ms. Linda Hillis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You should have a copy of my report in your packets. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them at this time.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Smart. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Billy Earl Jones. With a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Being none, all those in favor of accepting the Finance Department report as presented, please let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is County Welfare. I'd like to recognize Commissioner Sally Brock.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow Commissioners, you've received a report with names and payment amounts and remarks. And if we have any questions, I will defer to the Chairman, but I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Brock. Have a motion. Have a second by Commissioner Blaine Wiltshire. With a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Being none, all those in favor of accepting the county welfare report for the quarter as presented, please let me know by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you, Commissioner Brock. Next will be the Health Department report, and we have Ms. Fox with us this evening. Andrea, good evening.
Good evening. Each of you should have a copy of my report as well. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer those.
Motion. Motion to approve by Commissioner Boyd. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Brock. With a motion and a second, is there any question or discussion concerning the report from Ms. Fox? Being none, all in favor of accepting the Health Department report as presented, please let me know by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. The IDB quarterly financial. And Gerlinda, are you coming to the podium? Now, is Don going to stay? Is he going to remain seated there in the chair?
I don't know what to do with him.
Gerlinda, it's good to have you with us
Thank
this
you.
evening.
Y'all should have a report in your packet. If you have any questions, be glad to answer.
Okay. Motion to adopt by Commissioner Ron Lee. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Blaine Wiltshire. With a motion and a second, are there any questions or discussion for Ms. Rogers? Being none, all those in favor of accepting the report as presented, please let me know by saying aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you very much, and good to have you with us this evening. Next would be the Planning Commission report, and for that, I would like to recognize Commissioner Smart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You have a copy of our report on your desk. I so move.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Smart. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Joel Akers. With a motion and a second, is there any discussion or questions concerning the report? Being none, all those in favor of accepting as presented, please let me know by saying aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you. And our final departmental report is animal control, and I think I saw Miss Kim here earlier. There you are, right on the front row. Good evening, Kim. Good to have you with us this evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the court. I believe you have my quarterly in your packet. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer so now.
Entertain a motion. Motion to adopt by Commissioner Brock. I've got multiple seconds. I actually saw Commissioner Wiltshire first. I'll gain his second. With a motion and a second, any discussion? All right. Being none, all those in favor of accepting the animal control report as presented, please let me know by saying aye. Opposed? And motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. Okay, moving into committee reports, Budget and Finance, Commissioner Wells.
Mr. Chairman, Budget and Finance, we have nothing to report at this time.
Thank you, sir. Building and Grounds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Building and Grounds has nothing to report at this time.
Thank you. Economic and Agriculture Development, Commissioner Trotman is not with us. Commissioner Lee? Or Copeland? Nothing to report. Thank you, sir. Under Education, Commissioner Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, Education has nothing to report.
Very good. Thank you. Financial Management, our next scheduled meeting will be next Thursday, July, wrong month. July the 31st, is that correct? Next Thursday, July the 31st. And as always, everyone is invited to attend. We welcome everyone in attendance to those meetings. Health and Welfare, Commissioner Brock.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Health and Welfare has nothing new to report at this time.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Highway and Bridge, Commissioner Prater is not with us. Billy Earl? Nothing? Okay, thank you, sir. Policy and Personnel, Commissioner Martin is not with us tonight. Commissioner Copeland, are you aware of anything on Policy and Personnel? Okay, thank you, sir. And then finally, under Safety Committee, Commissioner Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Safety Committee has nothing to report at this time.
Thank you, sir. Special Committees, Jail Oversight, Commissioner Wells.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. Out at the jail today, we had 267 inmates, of which 62 of them were women. If we hadn't released about 80 of those state employees, we'd be right at 350, and we would be not in very good shape. But if anybody's got any questions outside of that, everything's running pretty smooth out there. So if you got any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Wells. And the Redistricting Committee, Commissioner Smart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In speaking with Ms. Smith the other day, we don't see any problems at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, that concludes our committee reports. So now, as we have set our docket for the evening, there is no old business. So moving into new business, item number 1 on our agenda for the evening. I'd like to recognize Commissioner Herschel Wells.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. This is item 1, approval of the fiscal year 2014-2015 tax levy of $1.9955. This passed Budget and Finance unanimous, and I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion and a second by Commissioner Carl Bolden. With a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Being none, Miss Lisa, would you call the roll, please?
Joel Akers. Yes. Terry Bell.
Yes.
Morris Bond.
Yes.
Carl Bolden.
Yes.
Teddy Boyd.
Yes.
Sally Brock.
Yes.
Wayne Copeland.
Yes.
Clinton Hill.
Yes.
Earl Jones.
Yes.
Ron Lee.
Yes.
Michael Martin.
Yes.
Charles Morgan.
Yes.
Dwight O'Neal.
Yes.
George Smart.
Yes, ma'am.
Bessie Smith,
Yes.
Diane Starkey.
Yes.
Herschel Wells,
Yes.
Blaine Wiltshire,
Yes.
Melissa Yancey,
Yes.
Bob Young.
Yes.
Anyone want to change their vote?
Item number 1 passes 20-0. Item number 2, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Terry Bell.
Mr. Chairman, the Education Committee met on June the 2nd to consider a proposed budget for Warren County Schools. The committee voted unanimously to recommend the school system budget to the full commission for approval. The Budget and Finance met on June the 3rd and voted unanimously to recommend the budget to the full commission for approval. And this budget includes a 1.5% pay raise for the teachers and $500 for the support personnel. And I so move.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second by Commissioner Morris Bond? With a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Being none, Miss Lisa, if you would, please.
Joel Akers. Terry Bell,
Yes.
Morris Bond.
Yes.
Carl Bolden,
Yes.
Teddy Boyd,
Yes.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Wayne Copeland,
Yes.
Clinton Hill,
Yes.
Earl Jones, Ron Lee,
Yes.
Michael Martin,
Yes.
Charles Morgan,
Yes.
Dwight O'Neal,
Yes.
George Smart,
Mr. Chairman, I may have a conflict in this matter, but in no way affects my vote. Yes.
Bessie Smithson,
Yes.
Diane Starkey,
Yes.
Herschel Wells, Blaine Wiltshire,
Yes.
Melissa Yancey,
I may have a conflict in this matter, but it in no way affects my vote. I vote yes.
and Bob Young.
Yes.
Anyone want to change your vote?
Item number 2 passes 20-0. Item number 3, Commissioner Herschel Wells.
The Budget and Finance Committee met on June 22nd to consider the consolidated county budget for year 2014-2015. This was recommended and voted on unanimous, and I so move, Mr. Chairman. And this budget, it includes a 50-cent raise for all county employees. It includes the ambulances for the EMS. It includes the cars for the Sheriff's Department. I think 5 cars, they buy 4. Then they outfit the 4 with the 5th car. All of this, we do not have a capital outlay note this time. It includes $250,000 for the IDB, so we've had a good year. I think we've got a good budget, and I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Wells. Do I hear a second? Second on that by Commissioner Carl Bolden. And if I may add to that, a 50 cent on the hour, for the county employees, 50 cent on the hour. So if you're a full-time employee, that's approximately $1,040 pay increase. And I agree. I think this is a wonderful budget, and I would like to compliment all the hard work that's gone in. So, but I did have a motion, and I'm sorry, did I get a second by Carl Bolden? So with a motion and a second, any further discussion? All right, being none, Miss Lisa, if you would please call the roll again.
Joel Akers, Terry Bell,
Yes.
Morris Bond,
Yes.
Carl Bolden,
Yes.
Teddy Boyd,
Yes.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Wayne Copeland, Clinton Hill, Earl Jones, Ron Lee, Michael Martin, Charles Morgan, Dwight O'Neal, George Smart,
Yes, ma'am.
Bessie Smithson, Diane Starkey,
Yes.
Herschel Wells, Blaine Wiltshire,
Yes.
Melissa Yancey,
Yes.
Bob Young. Anyone want to change their vote? 20 yes.
Item number 3 passes 20-0. Item number 4 will be resolution number 21-2014, a resolution making appropriations to the nonprofit charitable organizations of Warren County, Tennessee. The Procedures and Rules Committee met on June 3rd to consider nonprofit request for fiscal year 14-15 funding. The committee voted unanimously to recommend funding of nonprofits as set forth in the attached resolution. The Budget and Finance Committee met on June 25th to consider the recommended nonprofit allocations. The committee voted unanimously to recommend nonprofit allocations as set forth in the attached resolution. I will not go through this resolution as it is quite lengthy, but hopefully you've had an opportunity to review the organizations and the dollar amounts that's being recommended. As chairman of the Procedures and Rules Committee, I'm presenting that this evening. I'd like to open the floor up. I have a motion to approve this by Commissioner Wells, and I see Commissioner Wiltshire nodding his head. I'll take a second there. Is there any discussion? Commissioner O'Neill.
Section 5 and Section 15, you got the Chamber of Commerce down twice. That is just one donation, it's not done.
Okay, let's clarify that. Section 5, $5,500 be appropriated to the McMinnville Warren County Chamber of Commerce. Section 15, that $5,500 be appropriated to the McMinnville Warren County Chamber of Commerce to promote. Yes, that would be correct.
That's the one time $6,500, correct?
I'm sorry? Okay, all right, I stand. Ms. Hillis, would you explain that, please? Thank you. Your report.
Yes, sir. We have a $5,500 annual dues that we have to pay yearly. So one of those is that amount. The other is $5,500 is for the tourism for the Chamber of Commerce.
Is the nonprofit contribution.
Is the nonprofit contribution.
And the other is annual dues. So that was just a coincidence that they both happen to be the exact same amount of money. Okay.
Is it going to be a quick clarification on those two and I that as far as what that's going to be?
I think we can do that in the minutes. I think we've just done that. So to Nikki, Miss Nikki, if you would there on those, and also Section 15 addresses that at the end. Okay, let me just read from Section 15. That $5,500 be appropriated to McMinnville Warren County Chamber of Commerce to promote the health and general welfare of the citizens of Warren County by providing an annual investment. And Section 5 does not have that verbiage to promote the health and general welfare. So it says the annual, so Section 15 would be our dues, are the dues. So we will designate that specifically in our minutes, okay? Thank you for that clarification, Commissioner O'Neill. I appreciate it. Commissioner Akers.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I see last page here, these nonprofits will have to show us the official annual report. Will that include their bank account, their checking account balance? The reason I'm asking is some of these younger fire departments may be in need of funds. I'm just using the fire department for example. Some of these nonprofits may be in need of funds, whereas some of the older ones that are established, they may be flush with cash. And we have an audit committee established, do we not?
We do.
Will the audit committee be reviewing these requests from nonprofits next year?
I think that's something that could, certainly that could happen. Now, let's address the question. Let's speak to the bank accounts. Traditionally, we do not get bank balances. We've not gotten that in the past, but it's not, I think would not be beyond our ability to ask for that if we wanted and get it.
It appears to me if they're asking the taxpayers for money, they can provide us with the information we request. In good faith, it appears to me.
Mm-hmm. They provide to us on the nonprofit request a proposed budget and how the money within their organization is to be spent that they're requesting, but we do not normally receive a checking account balance, but we can certainly, we do from each nonprofit an audit. Okay. Okay. When they request their first drawdown, they bring in an audit. But that's still not necessarily a balance of a checking account, but that's something that we could do. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Akers. Any further discussion? Good questions. All right, being none, we do have a motion and a second. So at this time, we will be voting on the funding for the nonprofits. And Ms. Lisa, if you would please, I ask you to call the roll.
Joel Akers.
Yeah.
Terry Bell.
Yes.
Morris Bond.
Yes.
Carl Bolden.
Yes.
Teddy Boyd.
Yes.
Sally Brock.
Yes.
Wayne Copeland,
Yes.
Clinton Hill,
Yes.
Earl Jones,
Yes.
Ron Lee,
Yes.
Michael Martin,
Yes.
Charles Morgan,
Yes.
Dwight O'Neal,
Yes.
George Smart,
Yes, ma'am.
Bessie Smithson,
Yes.
Diane Starkey,
Yes.
Herschel Wells,
Yes.
Blaine Wiltshire,
Yes.
Melissa Yancey,
Yes.
Bob Young.
Yes.
Anyone want to change their vote? 20 yes.
Okay, item number 4 passes 20-0. Item number 5 will be our annual contribution of gasoline to UCHRA transit system. Commissioner Prater is not with us this evening. Commissioner Smithson, do you feel up to presenting that for us, please? I'd love to have you in the minutes, if you don't mind.
The Highway and Bridge Committee met on May 22nd, considered the Highway Department's FY 14-15 budget, which includes an allocation of $4,000 in gas to use new cars. And committee voted unanimously to approve. I so moved.
Thank you. I have a motion and I have a second by Commissioner Earl Jones. Is there any discussion? If not, Ms. Lisa, if you would again, please.
Joel Akers,
Yes.
Terry Bell,
Yes.
Morris Bond,
Yes.
Carl Bolden,
Yes.
Teddy Boyd,
Yes.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Wayne Copeland,
Yes.
Clinton Hill,
Yes.
Earl Jones,
Yes.
Ron Lee,
Yes.
Michael Martin,
Yes.
Charles Morgan,
Yes.
Dwight O'Neal,
Yes.
George Smart,
Yes, ma'am.
Bessie Smithson,
Yes.
Diane Starkey,
Yes.
Herschel Wells,
Yes.
Blaine Wiltshire,
Yes.
Melissa Yancey,
Yes.
Bob Young.
Yes.
Anyone want to change their vote? 20 yes.
Item number 5 passes 20-0. Item number 6, Commissioner Wells, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is resolution number 23-2014. It's a resolution to provide an appropriation to the McMinnville Warren County Industrial Development Board for the purpose of promoting industrial development in McMinnville, Warren County, Tennessee for the current fiscal year beginning July 1, 2014, ending June 30th, 2015. It passed Economic and Agricultural Development unanimous, passed Budget and Finance 4-1. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Have a motion, and do I hear a second by Commissioner Carl Bolden? With a motion and second, is there any discussion? Being none, Ms. Lisa, if you would please call the roll.
Joel Akers,
Yes.
Terry Bell,
Yes.
Morris Bond,
Yes.
Carl Bolden,
Yes.
Teddy Boyd,
Yes.
Sally Brock,
Yes.
Wayne Copeland,
Yes.
Clinton Hill,
Yes.
Earl Jones,
Yes.
Ron Lee,
Yes.
Michael Martin,
Yes.
Charles Morgan,
Yes.
Dwight O'Neal,
Yes.
George Smart,
Yes, ma'am.
Bessie Smithson,
Yes.
Diane Starkey,
Yes.
Herschel Wells,
Yes.
Blaine Wiltshire,
Yes.
Melissa Yancey,
Yes.
Bob Young.
Yes.
Anyone want to change their vote? 20 yes.
Item number 6 passes 20-0. Item number 7, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Teddy Boyd.
Thank you. Resolution number 7, resolution number 24, 2014, a resolution authorizing the Warren County Executive to enter the agreement with Manchester Funeral Home and Crematory. The Budget and Finance Committee met on June the 25th to consider renewing an agreement with Manchester Funeral Home and Crematory Service. The committee voted unanimously recommending the contract to be renewed. The Finance Management Committee and Safety Committee met separately on June the 26th to consider renewing the agreement with the Manchester Funeral Home. Both committees voted unanimously to recommend the renewal of this contract. Put the motion.
I have a motion on the floor, and I have a second by Commissioner Ron Lee. With a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Wiltshire? Yes, sir.
after the 7 days are expired and we pay $10 a day after that, is there a limit to that as far as how many days, if we're waiting on, the loved ones to claim the deceased? Is there a time limit, or is that indefinite?
The time limit would pretty much, we would determine that if we've reached a point here that we've already taken the body to the facility in Coffee County, we're already far enough along, Commissioner Wiltshire, that we're working on paperwork on our end as far as a certificate and permits in order for us to move forward with this procedure. So at this point in time, that storage would pretty much be dictated by how long it takes us in order for us to get our paperwork together. And this, as is a situation a lot of times, has come to light as a result of a situation where we had an extended period. It took us longer to get paperwork completed. So we can limit that ourselves if we execute the paperwork in a timely manner, if we don't run into any obstacles. Hopefully, so a long way around to say, hopefully we're not going to exceed that 7-day period very often. Hopefully we're going to be able to meet that timeline. Okay? Any other discussion? All right, if not, Ms. Lisa, if you would please call the roll.
Joel Akers?
Yes.
Terry Bell?
Yes.
Morris Vaughn?
Yes.
Carl Bolden?
Yes.
Teddy Boyd?
Yes.
Sally Brock?
Yes.
Wayne Copeland?
Yes.
Clinton Hill?
Yes.
Earl Jones?
Yes.
Ron Lee?
Yes.
Michael Martin?
Yes.
Charles Morgan?
Yes.
Dwight O'Neal?
Yes.
George Smart?
Yes, ma'am.
Bessie Smithson?
Yes.
Diane Stark?
Yes.
Herschel Wells?
Yes.
Blaine Wiltshire?
Yes.
Melissa Yancey?
Yes.
Bob Young?
Yes.
Anyone want to change their vote? 2 yes.
Item number 7 passes 20-0. Item number 8, Commissioner Trotman is not with us this evening, but I know that it was his intention to have either Commissioner Dwight O'Neal or Commissioner Clinton Hill to present this item this evening. So, gentlemen, which of you would like to, or jointly, however you'd like to do it?
I'd like to ask Mr. O'Neill, he's a great fisherman.
Okay. Commissioner O'Neal, I'd like to recognize you at this time, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The resolution recognizing Warren County, Tennessee as the home of southern muskie. Whereas the muscalon, a fish commonly known as the muskie, is native to the waterways of the Cumming Plateau, including College River and tributaries. Whereas the waters of College River and its tributaries of Warren County provide an ideal natural hatchery and habitat for muskie. And whereas the College River has become a premier destination for muskie fly fishing, gaining the reputation as being the southernmost trophy muskie fishery in the United States, and drawing anchors from across the United States and Canada. And whereas the inaugural Muskie Fly Fishing World Championship was held in Warren County in 2012, with this year's event drawing anglers from 17 states and attracting sponsorship from Oregon Scientific Anglers and TFO Fly Rods. And whereas the Muskie Fly Fishing World Championship, also referred to as the Southern Atlantic, has been the subject of articles featured in numerous magazines, including Business Fly, Southern Culture on the Fly, The Muskie Hunter, and will be featured in the upcoming issue of the American Angler. And whereas muskie fly fishing on the Collins River Warren County was featured on an episode on the Outdoor Channel's Fly Fish TV. And whereas 2 books, The 25 Best Places to Fly Fish for Muskie, and the forthcoming book, The 25 Best Places to Fly Fish in the South, include chapters devoted to the Collins River in Warren County. Now therefore, be resolved by the legislative body of Warren County, Tennessee, meeting record session on the Supreme Court page of July 2014, map number Warren County, Tennessee, as follows. Section 1, that Warren County, Tennessee be recognized as the home of southern muskie. Section 2, that this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage to the welfare of the county requirement. And I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Neal. I have a motion, and I have a second to that by Commissioner Akers. Is there any discussion? Being none, then all of those in favor of approving Resolution 25-2014, please let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you very much, Commissioner O'Neal, for that presentation. Item number 9, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Terry Bell.
Mr. Chairman, this is resolution number 26-2014, a resolution to authorize Warren County, Tennessee to participate in the Tennessee Promise Program, to authorize administration of the program through the Tennessee Archives, and to establish a Tennessee Promise Advisory Council. The Education Committee met on July the 7th to consider Warren County's participation in the Tennessee Promise Program, which will be available to high school graduates beginning in the fall of 2015. Through this program, graduates will have the opportunity to attend 2 years at a state community college or Tennessee College of Applied Technology tuition free. I so move, and this will replace some of our Citizens for Progress that we've been working with.
That's correct. Thank you. Have a motion and a second by Commissioner Morris Bond. With a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Okay, being none, this does, as far as the scholarship portion of this money, you know it's flowing through from the state involved money. I think we've got a voice vote, but let's do a roll call just in case. Let's do a roll call vote on this. Ms. Lisa, if you would please call the roll.
Joel Akers?
Yes.
Terry Bell?
Yes.
Morris Bond?
Yes.
Carl Bolden?
Yes.
Teddy Boyd?
Yes.
Sally Brock?
Yes.
Wayne Copeland?
Yes.
Clinton Hill?
Yes.
Earl Jones?
Yes.
Ron Lee?
Yes.
Michael Martin?
Yes.
Charles Morgan?
Yes.
Dwight O'Neal?
Yes.
George Smart?
Yes, ma'am.
Bessie Smithson?
Yes.
Diane Starkey?
Yes.
Herschel Wells? Blaine Wiltshire?
Yes.
Melissa Yancey?
Yes.
Bob Young?
Yes.
Anyone want to change their vote? 20 yes.
Item number 9 passes 20-0. Item number 10, ladies and gentlemen of the court, on our agenda for this evening, and you have that resolution that you have reviewed. We would like to withdraw that at this time. That resolution, I am happy to say, has been resolved. We have our county attorney with us this evening if anyone has any questions concerning that, but we have met earlier today, in fact. Rick, would you like to speak to that briefly as to our good report?
Yes. We anticipated asking the commission tonight to authorize our office to file a lawsuit against Nadine Sane and Laura Fultz regarding an illegal subdivision of property. Once the article was published in the Southern Standard regarding the committee meeting which authorized this resolution to come before the court tonight, Ms. Sane came to my office and she indicated she was willing to do whatever it took to resolve this situation. She just needed some time to do that. It was what we thought was a reasonable amount of time. We're looking at about 10 weeks. And we thought that we could hold off on this long enough to let her do what she needed to do to fix the issues that are out there. And so we met with her this morning. We actually got a memorandum of understanding in writing on that. And so we're going to give her until October 1st and see how things go. And if the issues have not been resolved at that time, then we'll revisit this issue at that time.
Okay. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, you've heard the explanation on that. So with your permission, once again, item number 10, we will withdraw. Item number 11 on our docket, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Sally Brock. Commissioner Brock.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health and Welfare Committee met on July 8th and discussed ways that we could possibly enhance, if you will, adoptions of canines and felines. Our director, Kim Petrie, gets a lot of animals in that are already spayed or neutered, or sometimes there will be a sponsor come forward with the funds to do that. And since Animal Control and Warren County do not have to pay for those spay and neuters, we, the committee, voted unanimously to reduce the price on adoption fees of those animals who come to us in that state. And I'm not going to read the resolution because I know you all can read. You have a copy of it. And I so move.
Okay. Thank you. I have a motion on the floor. Have a second by Commissioner Starkey. With a motion and a second on this item of business, is there any discussion? Being none, Ms. Lisa, if you would please call the roll.
Joel Akers?
Yes.
Terry Bell?
Yes.
Morris Bond?
Yes.
Carl Bolden?
Yes.
Teddy Boyd?
Yes.
Sally Brock?
Yes.
Wayne Copeland?
Yes.
Clinton Hill?
Yes.
Earl Jones?
Yes.
Ron Lee?
Yes.
Michael Martin?
Yes.
Charles Morgan?
Yes.
Dwight O'Neal?
Yes.
George Smart?
Yes, ma'am.
Bessie Smithson?
Yes.
Diane Starkey.
Yes.
Herschel Wells.
Yes.
Blaine Wiltshire.
Yes.
Melissa Yancey.
Yes.
Bob Young.
Yes.
Anyone want to change their vote? 20 yes.
Item number 11 passes 20-0. Item number 12, in the absence of Commissioner Trotman, Commissioner Lee, may I call on you, please, sir? Would you present this for us? Caught you off guard a little bit there. Is that okay? I'm sorry.
Thank you. The Economic and Agricultural Development Committee met on June the 30th to consider a reappointment to the Airport Board of Zoning Appeals. The committee voted unanimously to recommend Brent Foster for reappointment to his final 4-year term to expire July 2018.
Okay, I have a motion and a second by Commissioner Smart. And if I may state that under our new guidelines, this is Mr. Foster's second appointment, so this would be the last term he would be eligible to serve without coming off for a term. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, George. Okay. All right. If there's no discussion, then all in favor of reappointing Mr. Foster to his second and last 4-year term on this board, please let me know by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you. Item number 13, we'd like to recognize Ms. Scott for the presentation of the list of notaries.
This is the list for the notaries. Shannon Vandergriff, Shannon K. Gulick, Sean Colombo, Elaine Titsworth, Linda Bost, Janet L. Phillips, Jimmy Phillips, Treva J. Lassiter, Vicki S. Mitchell, Emily Horton, Rhonda Martin, Pamela Morrison, Darlene Smith, Charlotte Hutchins, Bernadette W. Morris, Teresa Hennessy, Amy Holt, Louise B. Freeze, Diane Odom, and Ruth Ann Webb.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the court, you have the list of names presented there on your sheet in front of you. You've heard them called out. I'd entertain a motion at this time. Okay, motion by Commissioner Boyd. I saw him nodding, and I'll get Commissioner Yancey again on the second. Multiple seconds. Thank you for that. The motion is second. Any discussion on any of these names? If not, all in favor of approving the list of notaries as presented, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion passes. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the court, as amended earlier when we began the evening, item number 13A, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Wells.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. This is physical strength and efficient government physical confirmation letter, 3-star program requirements. This is an acknowledgement that the debt management policy of Warren County is on file with the Office of the Comptroller of the Treasury and was reviewed with members of the Warren County Commission present at the meeting held on the 21st day of July 2014, and I so move, Mr.
Okay, I have a motion, and again, multiple seconds. I'll get Commissioner Carl Bolden with a motion and a second. And Ms. Hillis, may I call on you? Would you care to maybe speak a little bit more to this in regards as like the 3-star and the different things that we talked about earlier today? I hadn't had a chance to.
Yes, sir. The Comptroller's Office is requiring that we provide the debt management policy to the Commission for their review. And in order to maintain our 3-star program, this has to be done and submitted with our budget. Also, the annual cash flow forecast is attached. It's the last page of that particular item on your desk. And it's just a requirement that the Comptroller's Office requires us to do now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hillis and Commissioner Wells for the presentation. This item of business really was brought forward tonight, and I know it was an amended item. It was laying on your desk. Our intent originally was just simply to spread this on the minutes so that we could meet our obligation for the 3-star in the Comptroller's Office, but we do have a motion and a second. So just for a matter of clarification to have it officially on the minutes, let's go ahead and vote on this. So all in favor of the debt management policy, there's no change there. This is just saying that all the members of the court have reviewed it and that it remains as we adopted it back in 2011, when we adopted our debt management policy, and it remains today as it was, no changes. So all in favor, please let it be known by saying aye. Aye. And opposed, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the court. Item number 13B will be an item that we will address in a few minutes. At this time, however, I would like to call on the court to assist me. I need a motion and a second, and then we'll call for a vote. But ladies and gentlemen of the court, at this time, we need to enter into executive session for the evening. And we will be, during this executive session, we will be hearing from our counsel. And then after that is complete, we will be reconvening to deal with item 13B as we amended the agenda at the beginning of court. So at this time, if I could please ask, I have a motion by Commissioner George Smart. I have a second by Commissioner Teddy Boyd that at this time that our county court enter into executive session. Is there any discussion? Being none, all those in favor of this act, please let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. Ladies and gentlemen of our audience, I'm going to need to ask everyone at this time to allow us opportunity to hear from our counsel. So we'll need to ask you, we'll take approximately a 5-minute break here to allow everybody time to exit the courtroom. We will need all cameras turned off. We will need all radio connections turned off as we go into executive session. I'll ask the members of the court, if you would, to just please remain seated, and we'll take approximately whatever, a few minutes, 5 minutes at most, and we'll ask our court officer to assist in that, please. Thank you very much. Okay, all right. At this time, as we amended the docket at the beginning of our court, our final item of business for the evening, 13B. Are we ready? Okay. Item number 13B will be resolution number 29-2014. And at this time, I would entertain a motion from the floor. I have that motion by Commissioner George Smart. I have a second by Commissioner Wayne Copeland on resolution number 29-2014. Now, with a motion and a second, under discussion, one more time, except at this time in open forum, I'd like to recognize our counsel. Christina, if you would, please.
Yes. As we have discussed recently, the Galligan and Newman, who represents defendant Kenneth Rogers, has filed a motion to continue the trial date, so the case would be reset. They actually say in their motion for early 2015. We do not know what Judge Ash will do with that motion. But also, as part of the motion, they request that the judge order the parties to attend mediation. And that would be within the trial judge's authority to order the parties to mediation. And in this time of type of practice, it's not uncommon for a judge to order parties to attend mediation, particularly when sometimes they can do it, on their own, but when one party has requested that it be ordered, it would not be uncommon for the judge to order that. So, even if we don't agree, that it very likely would be a possibility that we would have to attend the mediation. And again, I can't tell you exactly what the judge can say, but that would not be uncommon for him to order that.
But regardless of the action of this court, then we could still wind up in mediation.
Yes.
So,
and of course, we would have to designate someone.
And have to come back and do this very issue. Yes.
That's correct.
Very good. Okay, we just wanted to clarify on that. Okay. Before we call for a roll call vote, is there any other discussion? Okay, I think it's, or at least as we've tried to make this very clear and explain everything, and as we presented it, and you have the resolution before you. So, being no further discussion at this time, then Miss Lisa, if you would please, I'll ask you to call the roll.
Joel Akers.
Yes.
Terry Bell.
Yes.
Morris Bond.
Yes.
Carl Bolden.
Yes.
Teddy Boyd.
Yes.
Sally Brock.
Yes.
Wayne Copeland,
Yes.
Clinton Hill,
Yes.
Earl Jones,
Yes.
Ron Lee,
Yes.
Michael Martin,
Yes.
Charles Morgan,
Yes.
Dwight O'Neal,
Yes.
George Smart,
Yes, ma'am.
Bessie Smithson,
Yes.
Diane Starkey,
Yes.
Herschel Wells,
Yes.
Blaine Wiltshire,
Yes.
Melissa Yancey,
Yes.
Bob Young.
Yes.
Anyone want to change their vote? 20 yes.
Item 13B passes 20-0. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our business for the evening. If there are no announcements or any further business from any members of the court, motion to adjourn by Commissioner Morris Bond, second by Commissioner Dwight O'Neal. All in favor, please let me know by saying aye. Aye. Thank you very much and good evening.